Hi, good evening and good morning, everybody. And we are just going to start. So, Reshmaji, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, in tonight, our MC is Reshmaji. So, Reshmaji, handing over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a virtual discussion on explore the attractive incentives potential of Odisha for your business. Jointly organized by the Consulate General of India, New York, Milan Cultural Association, and Odisha Society of New England. Odisha is located in the eastern region of India, sharing its borders with West Bengal, Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and the Bay of Bengal. A state with a glorious history. There is a lot of mention of Odisha in ancient Indian epics such as Ramayana and Mahabharata. Odisha is known for its rich cultural heritage and religious sites such as the Konark Sun Temple, Jagannath Puri Temple. The music of Odisha is said to be over 2,500 years old, and Odissi, the dance form, is very famous across the globe. Odisha has a well-developed social, physical, and industrial infrastructure and is a key state with regards to mineral and metal-based industries. It accounts for 35% of India's natural resources and contributes the largest share of mineral production in India in terms of value. It has an aluminium smelting capacity of 54% and steel making capacity of 20% in India, making it an attractive potential for ancillary industries in the metal sector. With an industry-friendly environment, policy framework, attractive incentive potential, and appropriately skilled workforce, Odisha is an investor's paradise for aerospace and defense, manufacturing, aviation, maintenance, repair, biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, petroleum and petrochemicals, information technology, tourism, and hospitality sectors. Our speakers today are a mix of doyens of their respective industries, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and representatives of the Odisha government. Each of them will provide an unique perspective into the development of Odisha, incentives offered, and the diverse avenues available for attracting investment. In order to respect everyone's time today, I request all the speakers to please adhere to the time slots allotted to them. Questions directed to any of the speakers can be posted on the chat window, and we will try and accommodate all the questions in today's show. I would now like to call upon the President of Milan Cultural Association, Connecticut, Mr. Hari Sharma, to introduce Milan and say a few words. Please, Hariji.
Thank you so much, Reshmaji. And all right. So, Milan Cultural Association is a volunteer-driven, non-profit association of people from India living in the United States. Milan has various chapters and members across the United States of America. Milan is a community service organization celebrating the traditional art and culture of India with mainstream America and our Indian diaspora. Milan believes in sharing and caring for the mainstream American issues a community we live in, also supports, collaborates, and participate in all the mainstream and Indian diaspora events to foster constructive partnership and interactive relationship with the local community. Today's program, this joint program, so I am going to share the mission and vision of the Odisha Society of North England. So the vision of OSNE, which is an OSS chapter, is to promote and propagate Odia culture among Indo-American community by bringing together all the people interested in Odisha. The mission goal of this organization is to provide a mutually supportive environment for the better interaction of Odia immigrants of North American countries through socio-cultural growth, friendship, and fellowship. To enhance the awareness of the Odisha and Odia tradition in North America through culture, promotion, social event, and development activities. To facilitate the exchange of information between Odisha and the United States as well as Canada. So now, in today's program, I would like to request our Milan Cultural Association Chairman, Sri Suresh Sharma to proceed for the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Hariji, for letting me get into the program. And I would just like, to start with our first, speaker, our Honorable Consul General Randeep Jaiswal, who is a career diplomat and has over 2 decades of diplomatic career. He has served in Portugal, Cuba, South Africa, and at the Permanent Mission of India in New York. In between his overseas assignments, while in New Delhi with the Ministry of External Affairs, looking after India's relation with the United States, Western European countries, and just before coming to New York, as a joint secretary, he was serving, President of India as a joint secretary and managing his international affair portfolio. Our Honorable Consul General is very passionate about youth potential, women gender, equity, and promoting Make in India program in USA by exploring the possibilities of bilateral businesses, opportunities between for mutual benefits of both India and USA. Our Consul General is a community person, attending, community functions, meeting people, academicians, and policymakers, even on weekends, as is routine, though he, of course, should enjoy on the weekends, but he's such a community person, that's as it's mentioned. And his interaction with the Indian community and his vision for the Indian diaspora, to interact with the mainstream America in their social, civic, economic, and the political arena has endeared him a lot. With this, I would invite our Consul General to share his thoughts for this occasion.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Good morning, everybody here in the United States, and good evening to those who've joined us from India. A very warm namaste to all of you. Honorable Captain Dibya Shankar Mishra, Minister of Industries, Energy, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of Orissa. Honorable Shri Tushar Kanti Behra, Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha. Honorable Shri Padmanabha Behra, Cabinet Minister, Commerce and Transport, Government of Odisha. Shri Madhusudan Padi, Principal Secretary, Commerce and Transport, Government of Odisha. Distinguished guests, very warm namaste to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Milan Cultural Association and Odisha Society of New England for bringing us together in this business conference. We are celebrating India at 75 Today's program is also part of our celebration, our outreach that we are doing as part of India at 75. The Prime Minister of India, Honorable Shri Narendra Modi, launched India at 75 celebrations on 12th March from Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. On 15th August 2022, India will be celebrating 75 years of its independence. On this momentous occasion, celebrations of which we have already begun, we seek your support, your participation, and your cooperation. We have done extensive outreach involving our diaspora here and our states in India. Our states engagement today is a priority area for Government of India and for our consulate here. For that reason, in the Ministry of External Affairs, we have a dedicated division which looks after states engagement, how to expand the role, cooperation and collaboration of states in India in our external engagement abroad. That is a priority for us. In the last few months that I have been here, we have done states-focused events promoting business, tourism, and cultural cooperation with states of Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Goa, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, so on and so forth. We would like to continue this engagement. We want to do more with states in our overall relationship with the United States and more between states of India and provinces, states of the United States here. It is our understanding in the next level of our development, economic engagement with the world, technological engagement with the world, the states have significant role to play. And for that reason, it is very important, and today's event is very critical, and such events will be very critical in our journey ahead. Orissa, as you know, as a state, has done very well. Its economic indicators are very impressive. It continues to grow on that path. It has huge potential in the fields of mining, petrochemicals, fishery, agro-industries, hospitality, tourism, and in many more such fields, ports, shipbuilding, shipping industry, defense, IT, biotechnology, etc. Specifically, I must mention the role of the fishing industry in Odisha. Many Odisha companies are already engaged with the US market. Our marine products exports to the United States is almost 30% of all India's overall marine products exports. And 10% of US's market is accounted by Indian exports. So that is how big our engagement in the marine sector is. The potential, of course, is huge. Orissa has done very well in recent years through its business climate, through its facilitative policy framework to attract foreign direct investment. Lately, it has become the sports powerhouse of the country. A few years back, Odisha hosted the World Hockey Championship. It is also leading India on many counts when it comes to sports. Culturally, of course, everybody knows how vibrant a space Odisha is, from the dances of Gotupua to the heritage of Sun Temple in Konark, Udayagiri, Khandagiri, and much more. Tourism, of course, when you talk of tourism, ecotourism, and we have our dear colleague from India Tourism here to talk about it, there are immense potential that Orissa has to offer. And we would like our people here in the United States to come and soak the beauty of Odisha, its cuisines, its culture, its Rath Yatra, the Chilka Lake, its natural habitats, what Bhitarkanika has to offer, so on and so forth. And in all this discussion, of course, the diaspora here, the diaspora from the state of Odisha, they have an important role to play. You are a living bridge between the United States, between the people of United States and the state of Odisha. Please continue to do your good work, and we are there to support you, and we continue to count on your support in our own engagement as we promote business and tourism in the state of Odisha from the United States and vice versa. We have a very eminent group of people who will be speaking about all the various possibilities that we have on the business side, on tourism side, on cultural side, and I look forward to the discussion. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Consul General, for your kind message and giving, what Odisha can do in the business as well as tourism, and how the Indian diaspora also, can its job in getting, the people from here, the business from here to Odisha, and Odisha business, coming to USA. Thanks for your help and the ideas that you have given to us. And you're always welcome, and you have been very nice and kind, meeting about India diaspora all the time. Thanks a lot, Consul General Randeep ji.
Okay, so we are moving along, and moving on, our next honored guest is Chief Minister Navneen Patnaik. Navneen Patnaik, from 16th October 1946, is an Indian politician serving as the current and 14th Chief Minister of Odisha. He is also the president of the Biju Janata Dal, a writer, and has authored 3 books. He is the longest serving Chief Minister of Odisha, and as of 2019, one of the longest serving Chief Ministers of any Indian state, holding the post for almost 2 decades, and only the 3rd Indian Chief Minister to win 5 consecutive terms as Chief Minister of an Indian state. He was educated at the Wellham Boys School in Dehradun and later the prestigious the Doon School. After that, he attended Delhi University and he qualified for Bachelor of Arts degree. His mild mannerism and stand against corruption and pro-poor policies have resulted in the development of a huge support base in Odisha, which has voted him to power in the last 5 consecutive terms. Due to his busy schedule, the Honorable Chief Minister could not join us today. However, he has sent us a very special message on this occasion. I now call upon Devadatta Behera, President of Odisha Society of New England, to read the Chief Minister's message.
Vande Utkala Janani. Good morning, everybody here in USA, and a very good evening, everybody who's joined us from India. And thank you, Consulate General Ji, Jaiswal Ji, who has been very kind to facilitate this with Suresh Sharma Ji from Milan and Osni. Osni has a good relationship with the Consulate General, sir, and he, as soon as he joined office, he did address Osni during our 15th August event as well. Thank you, sir, for your unconditional support all the time. And thank you, Suresh Ji, for promoting Odisha jointly together. I hereby have the opportunity to read the letter from our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Navneen Patnaik Ji from Odisha. Odisha is first emerging as the manufacturing hub of the Eastern India through its industry-friendly policy framework. Investors find our industrial ecosystem one of the best in the country, with several ports established, including the famous Paradip port and a few more coming up. Odisha is now the eastern gateway to the Asian region. The state is well known as a material hub of the country and leads in steel and aluminum. my government has launched Odisha Industrial Development Plan with a series of attractive initiatives to broad-base the industrial development across diversified sectors with significant potential. On the back of these initiatives, numerous opportunities for investments have opened up for investors across different sectors. We have launched the Skilled in Odisha initiative to make our youth among the best skilled in the country. Recently, we have started the World Skills Center in Bhuvaneshwar with an ambition that our students should get access to top-class training facilities and they should compete with the best in the world. Apart from the industry, there are huge opportunities to invest in the field of tourism, agriculture, fisheries, food processing, information technology, etc. Odisha offers a transparent, stable, and progressive governance. We welcome all investors to come and become partners in our growth and development. I thank the Odisha Society of New England, Milan Cultural Association for this initiative. My special thanks to the Consul General of India at New York for his support. Thank you, Navin Patnaik. Thank you, Resmaji.
Wow, that was such a beautiful, short, sweet, but such a lovely message that came from our Chief Minister. Okay, so now we move on, and our next speaker is Honorable Captain Divya Shankar Mishra. He is a Minister of State Independent Charge for Energy, Industries, and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Divya Shankar Mishra has been given additional portfolio of Minister of State Home. Honorable Captain Mishra served in Indian Air Force and served as Chief Pilot for Northeast Indian states, including Odisha, before joining politics. Honorable Captain Mishra's initiative of 5 Ps program and MO Sarkar, which was introduced by the Chief Minister Navin Patnaik. The 5P mantra is based on the philosophy that transparency, teamwork, technology, and timeliness leading to transformation. His initiatives include 5P agenda of IDCO in respect of development of industrial infrastructure in Odisha. The 5P mantra is based on the philosophy that transparency, teamwork, technology, and timelessness leading to transformation, ERP, GoPIS, and other transformation IT. Initiatives undertaken by IDCO under the guidance of Mr. Mishra helps an entrepreneur check the status of his or her post allotment application anywhere in real time. I now call upon Honorable Captain Mishra to say a few words, please.
Sorry, Resmaji, the private secretary of Mr. Mishra just texted. He will join. So as soon as he joins, I will. I'm sorry, for everybody. As soon as he joins, we will have him talk to us. Let's, for now, welcome Mr. Madhusudan Padi, the principal secretary. He's already there with us to address.
So are we having Honorable Madhusudan now?
Yes, please.
So a little few words about Honorable Madhusudan Padiji as well. He is the principal. We welcome you, Honorable Madhuji, and he is the Principal Secretary, Commerce and Transport. Shri Padi is an alumni of National Institute of Technology, Roorkela, and holds a degree in engineering. During his tenure, he has served in multiple departments of the government of Odisha, including prior to current position. He served as the Principal Secretary to current Honorable Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal. As the Commissioner cum Secretary, Mr. Padi received E-India Award at Kerala for mobile governance in paddy procurement in Odisha for the year 2013 to 2014. Welcome. Please say a few words for us. You have to unmute, Honorable Kadiji, you have to unmute.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for a flattering introduction. I thank the Milan Cultural Organization and the Odisha Society of New England, and my special thanks to Consulate General of India at New York for having supported this program of interaction for potential of Orissa and the incentives available for various sectors for investment. As has been mentioned by our Honorable Chief Minister in his letter, Orissa actually today is one of the stable political and peaceful states of the country, and on many fronts it is beating the front runners and leaping forward. One of the schemes, which is the Skill in India, but Skill in Odisha, that has been talk of the town. So, and now for the first time, engineering student from Odisha got the first gold medal in skills, world skills competition in Russia 2 years back. So that is the kind of focus that Honorable CM and the government is focusing on skill development. Apart from being the industrial and especially in the metal industry, the mineral industries, there are a lot of scopes, especially in tourism, agriculture, fisheries, IT, and even in renewable energy. A lot of people, investors have already invested in small projects in renewable energy. That is also an area of investment. But I will be talking about more about port policy and the new electric vehicle policy, which is coming up shortly in the state. As we have a huge coastline of about 480 kilometers in the eastern coast, and there are very good potential locations for the developing port. So we have come up with a port policy in which private entrepreneurs are investing in ports, and they get a concession agreement for about 50 years, with 30 years and 10-10. And they have a time of 4 years to develop the port. They share revenue as per their business. And in that process, two new ports have come up. The port that had a potential of about 300 million tons, but today it has a capacity of 50 million tons. And in the 10th year, it has done about 32.5 million tons in the just finished financial year ending March 31st. Similarly, Gopalpur Port, which came up only about 5 years back, it has crossed 10 million tons this year. And there are two more ports which are already coming up in Balesur district in Subarnarekha Mouth, and one in Astaram. So there the projects are starting off, and hopefully they will see the light of the day in another 3 to 4 years. We have two more MOUs lined up. One for the JSW in where for their steel plant they have a captive jetty. They want to develop that, and similarly a riverine port, which is most probably be developed by Paradip Port Trust in the river Mahanadi. So with Paradip Port, which has become the second highest cargo handler in the country in the current year at 115 million tons. Odisha presents a huge potential. And last month, a delegation from Bihar came to discuss about owning a port dedicated to the cargo of Bihar. Discussions took place, but somehow we have not finalized what is to be done. But we have given them the potential. There are about 8 potential locations where no MOU is in force at present. We have requested them to consider if they can develop either by government or through entrepreneurs, so that can be that can serve their purpose. Similarly, Jharkhand has also a proposal, similar proposal, because of being landlocked, their potential is not getting developed. So ports actually are a gateway for development. Today, port-led development is shaping the economy of many small countries. So here also we would like to focus on that. Similarly, on the electric vehicle policy, I would like to mention that it is a policy which is being launched later this month, and we have in which there are for creating ecosystem like charging stations, and of course incentive for using electric vehicles. Our target is to have about 20% of the total vehicles in 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, and 4-wheelers by 2025 from the electric vehicle category only. So I think this is an area where there is scope for investment and quite a bit, and as it is reducing the carbon footprint and fossil fuel and which is whose import is increasing year after year, and which is also causing a lot of outgo of foreign exchange from India. So this is an alternative which Government of India is also promoting, and state is also like to participate. So with these two policies, I would request potential investors to look at these policies, and it may not be a full port, it could be one but existing ports. They would like to also have collaboration, because investment is something which can be done. And apart from that, a lot of industries are also coming up in these port areas. Even before the Suvarnrekha port has come up, Haldia Petrochemical has plans for investing about 7,000 crores of investment in Indian rupees. Similarly, the Dhamra port, the one LNG terminal is coming up, LNG plant is coming up, which will cater to nearly 1/5 of the country. The pipelines are being led by GAIL, and it is a joint venture between IOCL, GAIL on one side, and Adani and Total of France on the other side. So ports are, apart from being gateway, they are also becoming the magnet for investment, and port-led development, port-led industrialization are going to increase in years to come. I think I'll stop here and take questions as and when they come. And with this, thank you, and I would personally thank DS Vera, the president of Odisha Society of New England, for having invited me, for having me here. Thanks everybody for participating. Vande Utkal Janani, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much for this intense, deep information that you're sharing that we need to focus and work upon. And with this, we will move on to our next speaker, and he is Honorable Madhusudhan Padiji. A little brief up about him. He is a Principal Secretary, Commerce and Transport.
Sorry to interrupt, Resmaji. He just spoke. We'll invite the Tourist Assistant Director. Mr. Padi just spoke now.
Yes, but yeah, who is our next speaker? I'm sorry, because many of them are not ready yet. If you can tell me. Whoever is ready, let me know.
Devdattaji, you are in mute.
Yeah, let's invite Assistant Director Tourist from Tourism from New York Head Office, please.
Can you please spell the name?
Mr. Senthur Kumar.
Is he KP Kumar?
Yeah. Good morning. Namaste. We would like to thank the Consul General of CGI New York and Milan Association and Odisha Society of New England for organizing such a wonderful event to promote India's various states. Today we are focusing on Odisha. So the Odisha is the India's best kept secret. We would like to go through the presentation. Yes, please. Next slide. Yeah. Orissa is the top 3 investment destination for last 15 years. It's number 1 in attracting the investments during the producers of 20% steel and 54% in aluminum of India, and also number 2 achiever in SDG as per the Niti Aayog. Next, please. Smart city Bhuvaneshwar. The history dates back to 3rd BCE. The new Bhuvaneshwar founded as a capital city in 1959, and it is also the second planned city in India, which is the mixing of both ancient and modern. And also this is the temple city of India, and Bhuvaneshwar also the 3rd best city for doing business in India, among the top 10 cities in India for software exports, and also ranked among the top 5 fastest growing cities in the country. Next, please. Odisha is safe as when we are going through the difficult times, but every state has come up with the standard operating procedure from the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and Odisha is also following all the SOPs to protect the tourist as well as to make the hygienic. So this is one of the states very safe for tourism. Next, please. Orissa also got the many awards and recognition in the last years, especially from the FICCI Travel and Tourism Excellence Award in 2019, a best tourism website in India at FICCI Travel and Tourism Excellence Awards, Tourism Leadership Award at the Global MICE and Luxury Travel Congress and Awards, and also the Best Heritage Destination in TNL Reader's Choice India's Best Awards, and Best Wellness and Heritage Destination. Also, they got the best awards in 2020. Next, please. Orissa is one state, but it has many experiences. That is their uniqueness, especially when we are talking about the spiritual and heritage tourism, when we are talking about the coastal and wetland tourism, especially Chilika Lake and Bitterkanika mangroves, which is very famous, 8 major dams sites, including the Hirakud, ecotourism and wildlife tourism, art, crafts and handicrafts tourism, ethnic tourism, and fairs and festivals. These are the major area Orissa is promoting, which also helps the tourists to explore various experiences in one state. Next, please. Odisha has primarily focusing on different tourist circuits, depending on your interest. The tourists have a different interest. So here, it offers you Buddhist circuit. If you are interested in nature, then Silica circuit is very popular. And also the ethnic circuits, which is showing the people how they live, how they experiences. And also wildlife circuits and Golden Triangle Heritage Art Trail. These are all the major tourist circuits promoted in Odisha for the foreign tourist as well as the Indian tourist, which is getting very popular now. Next, please. When we are talking about beaches of Odisha, the Golden Beach, Puri, is among India's first blue flag beaches, and also 5 more beaches being developed for blue flag certification. The integrated beachfront development at Talasari and Konark, which is also becoming major attraction for the people from the very European or North American, because these beaches are really a great attraction for the travelers. Next one, please. Orissa also famous for its spiritual tourism. They have more than 1,000 prominent temples in Odisha, And everyone knows that Rath Yatra witnesses more than 2 million devotees. And Puri Jagannath Temple and Lingaraj Temple undergoing a major redevelopment, and the places are getting very clean and more infrastructures to reach to the tourists, so which is giving a more opportunity for people to come up with the new projects in these areas. Next, please. Buddhist legacy, everyone talk about Buddhism. It's like Orissa is one of the major places for the Buddhist tourism. Whether you take it from the Southeast Asian countries or the people following the Buddhism, people all over the world, they would come to Buddhism circuit here, which is very famous. It has more than 15 major Buddhism sites here in Odisha. Next, please. Odisha also very popular for its art and craft, especially Utkala, the land of artistic excellence. More than 51 art forms with several GI tags they have, which is getting very important for the employment job opportunities in the local communities, which makes the local communities self-reliant, and also the people know about the Oriya crafts and arts through interactive sessions they have. Thank you. Next one, please. When we are talking about the performing arts of Odisha, Odissi, Kotipua, these all are classical dance forms, and other performing arts also there, like Sambalpuri, Swav, Pala, Dakshadira, Bhaganasha, Godanasha. These all very popular forms of Odisha dance forms, which is also very unique to promote Odisha culture all over the world. And the Consul General also, they involve the cultural team from all over the country to promote these kind of art forms from the various states of the country. Next one. Odisha also very rich for its ethnic tourism. They have more than 62 tribes, accounts for more than 24% of population, and which also gives opportunity for the tourism to explore the people live in their natural habitat, people to experience how they live, and ethnic tourism is one of the major new tourism areas opening up in Odisha also. Thank you. Next one. And when we are talking about the food and taste of Odisha, it has its own unique food. As India knows that everywhere we have a very unique food, and Odisha also equally has a very nice variety of foods and delicacies. Next one. And when we are talking about eco tour, Odisha, they have done a very unique opportunity for the local communities. They have done with 47 community managed natural camps, which offers you the local communities getting employment, and also they are offering the unique experiences for the tourists when they come from outside, when they are experiencing the weather in beach or forest or river camping or lake resorts. And everywhere, this community is offering this opportunity for the tourists to explore. So these are the new areas during even the post-COVID scenario. People would love to go and explore in its own places with the natural camps, not in a crowded place. Maybe it is very... Yes, next one, please. Wide range of activities. These are some of the activities people do in these tours. Next one, please. And these are all the accommodation facilities in different places. It gives you opportunity to explore in its natural routes, not exactly the luxury hotels, but it is a very good, decent budget hotels, as well as they have all kind of variety of places to explore. Next one, please. And also, Odisha is famous for its various festivals. So, Konark Festival, International Sand Art Festivals, and National Chilka Bird Festival, Mukteshwar Dance Festival, Raja Rani Music Festival, Dauli Kalinga Mahotsav, and also Vrindavan Mahotsav. These are all the various festivals which attracts a lot of international tourism, as well as the Indian tourists traveling from different parts of the country to these places to explore the arts forms of Odisha. Next one, please. When we are talking about the Odisha, one can explore by road also. There are a lot of different road itineraries for 1 million experiences. People explore through their own vehicle, And especially now, after the post-COVID, they are predicting that people would travel on their own transport with their family instead of traveling in a crowded one. So there are a lot of opportunities Odisha is giving you through exploring through road experiences. Next, please. These are the few tour itineraries for a 4-night, 5 days. You can cruise along the circars,
Yeah,
the places
and
you can
sir,
cover.
this is a humble request. Now we are running a little bit, so sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the interruption. But in order to keep the event timely, a little bit we are running
Sure.
behind. Sorry for that.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so that was our honored Senator Kumaran, the Assistant Director of the Orissa Tourism, New York. His jurisdiction was USA, Canada, Greenland, Central and South America, and Caribbean islands. A very professional, soft-spoken, highly knowledgeable about the tourism industry and in the art of setting tourism conventions and trade show. His office handles issuing liquor permits for the state of Gujarat. There was a lot of confusion because some of our guest speakers were a little tied up and busy. So we had to change the line of speaking. So I sincerely apologize to Mr. Senator Kumaran that we missed your introduction, but we couldn't fail to do so. So we had to speak about you and how much you given to the nation and to the state. With that, we move along, and our next speaker is Honorable K.V. Kumarji. He is the President and CEO of Indian American International Chamber of Commerce, IAICC, and the Chairman of Kmf Investment Group, a startup company investing in startups, small businesses in nanotechnology, healthcare, and other trending investments. Contributions to the US-India trade and bilateral relations, Mr. KV, through USIACC, was instrumental in signing of the MOU between US Small Business Administration and Government of India's SME in New Delhi in January 2007 with the assistance from the AmCham New Delhi. Mr. K.V. Kumar is the only Indian American to serve 6 US presidents from Ronald Reagan to Donald Trump. He has also served 4 governors, many members of Congress, Senate, and mayors. He has actively participated in numerous NGOs and organizations to serve the community. Mr. K.V. Kumar is the epitome of volunteerism and community service. For more than 50 years, Mr. K.V. has been known and respected for his 147,000 plus hours or more than 16 years of volunteered work. He continues to serve and mentor the small businesses, entrepreneurs, people with brain injury, youth and community organizations, and individuals. We welcome you, sir. Please, the stage is yours.
My goodness, thank you so much for your gracious, welcome. Introduction. Good morning to you all. Good morning to the honorable ministers, Shri Tushakantji Behera, Consul General Randir Jaiswal ji, Divya Shankar Mishra ji, Padmanabh Mehra ji, Principal Secretary Madhusudan Padi ji, distinguished speakers, Mr. Suresh Sharma ji, organizers, ladies and gentlemen, and mistress of ceremony as well. I would like to first congratulate the Consul General, Mr. Randir Jaiswal, whom I came to know recently. He has done a superb job in a very short period of time in New York. And Mr. Jaiswal, we are going to work with you. We are reorganizing the whole board in New York. We are going to start active roles in New York State in your region. Thank you for your supporting these organizations and hosting this event. And I also want to thank Milan Cultural Association, Odisha Society, and Mr. Suresh Sharma ji, Mr. Hari Sharma ji, organizers of this special event program. It's a great honor for me to speak at this very important forum. Today, we have gathered here to exchange the knowledge of commercial relationship between the United States of India the United States of America and the Republic of India. The economic partnership between these two countries have never been as important as it is today. I wear several hats in my work. I'm very, very proud to say that one of my jobs is to really be the president and CEO of the Indian American International Chamber of Commerce. Last month, we just had inaugurated the South Carolina chapter with the governor of South Carolina, McMaster, hosted it in his residence, the whole event. And, we had the Consul General, Dr. Swati Kulkarni, grace the occasion. Ambassador could not, unfortunately, attend the event because of, certain conditions, present conditions. Let me say a few things about the Kmf Investment Group before I get into the other things. Kmf Investment Group was formed shortly before COVID began. And we raised over $500 million in commitments. And we were going to raise about $2 billion, which we will as soon as the conditions permit. And the head of our group, the CEO, Glenn Falco, was managing billion-dollar investment, as well as he raised $1 billion, part of the team of $1 billion, which took Nortel to $30 billion company. What we want to do is to invest in small businesses and startups and encourage entrepreneurs both in the United States and in India, and followed by other countries. We are not just US-India Chamber of Commerce. We are going to bring India and the United States of America together with the rest of the world. We are opening an office within next 3 months in Singapore, and then we are opening 7 offices in Africa and 5 offices in Latin America, not to mention other places in Europe and Asia. This COVID has, affected a lot of us, all of us, in fact, in the whole world. But I'm an eternal optimist. With the advent of, the vaccinations and other things, we are going to be fine in a few months. In fact, I was interviewed by the pharmaceutical board, the worldwide pharmaceutical board, a few months back, and they asked me, how can we bring US and Indian pharmaceutical industry together? I think what you are doing, Mr. Consul General, and also the embassy and the states and the government of India is very good. We in the United States, we are going to work on, simplifying the abilities of the governments to bring their products and services to the United States. And that's one of the reasons why, in fact, I'm currently helping one of the groups of Tata Group. And, we are doing that to help other industries to come. Chinese spell crisis with 2 words, the danger and the opportunity. The danger, of course, is there, but let's look at the opportunity side. And the the Indian American International Chamber of Commerce, which went through several changes, is 30 years old. And we are here to promote and foster economic development of the United States of America, Republic of India, together with the rest of the world to benefit all of us. The Indian American International Chamber of Commerce is an umbrella organization. We have offices in the US, and we are expanding that. Without COVID, we would have had by now about 10,000 members, which would have made this organization the largest Asian organization in the country. But we are proceeding with that, irrespective of that. In fact, I'm taking the Consul General of India to Mississippi in a couple of weeks. Since its launch in Washington, DC, IICC has been working with various groups. I'm managing the time, not to worry. IICC networks with entrepreneurs, professionals, businesses, and governments to develop entrepreneurship and commerce through mentor-protege programs, training, seminars, networking opportunities. Currently, we have in excess of about 600,000 Indian American-owned or managed businesses. And we want to capture a major share of that, working with everyone. And we welcome other local chapters of the Chambers of Commerce to join hands with us to bring one common interest to have a better trade and commerce relationship between US and India. I want to bring a few things that what the chamber has done for notable accomplishments. IAICC is a strong advocate for small and medium-sized businesses in the United States, India, and the rest of the world. Through its partnerships and advocacy programs, IAICC supports stronger trade policies and relationship between US and India. And let's take the last few things that we have done. IAICC has strongly supported the US-India nuclear program. IAICC has strongly supported the STC1, the trade, the arrangement, STC1 arrangement that we have been together with US and India, between US and India, provides us the status equal to NATO countries, which eliminates a lot of red tape for doing business, especially for artificial intelligence, leading to Department of Defense, aerospace, healthcare, and other industries. And agro industries is something that India should really consider moving into with the United States. And fortunately now, under the previous president, the opportunity zone was created. The opportunity zone brings over $5 trillion investment over the next 20 years. This creates a big opportunity for small and medium-sized businesses. What they should do is to include their partnerships with the US small companies. That way they can get into the business in the United States and make the best use of that. And then the President Biden has announced over $2 trillion investment in infrastructure. This promotes construction and other industries, and that uses a lot of steel and other metals. This creates a big opportunity for Odisha state to enter into business with, you need to partner with US companies. And that is what our chamber is really clearly doing, that one, to encourage people to come to us. And we are establishing a platform, an opportunity zone platform on our website, which is free for use. In fact, we announced that in Calcutta.
Sir, quick time check reminder, sir, quick time check reminders. Sorry for the interruption, great information.
Okay, thank you very much. And I will be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And back to Ms. Maji.
We are running a little bit on time schedules and we have to move on. I'm sure we'll have more times with us in coming future. Moving on to our next speaker is Mr. Salil Panigrahi. He's a visionary hotelier par excellence. Mr. Salil Panigrahi is the founder and managing director for Atmosphere Hotels and Resorts, a dynamic and fast-growing Indian Ocean hospitality company. Mr. Salil has built a reputation for hospitality based on the ethos of joy of giving. He conceptualized Atmosphere in 2013 with a unique philosophy. His objective was to operate value-driven resorts. Please welcome you, sir, and few words.
Thank you. Good evening, and good evening from Maldives. Good morning, which part of the world? US, UK, honorable ministers, and respected panelists. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I have to say, tourism is one of the industry which is of the few sustainable industry which exist in the earth. It's I say that hospitality is a true human industry, where this is one industry where the interaction between humans are much more than any other industry. I have to say Orissa as a state is has got huge potentials. I will not talk about other industry because my specialty being in tourism and hotel industry, and especially on the leisure sector, I say Orissa is underutilized. It has got huge scope, seeing around the world, seeing what's happening in the world. Let's take the case of Maldives. In pandemic, I know we all my friends are locked up on different parts of the world. Maldives is running at, our hotels are running at 80 to 90% occupancy. Yesterday, somebody said, you should create wellness centers in the Maldives. I said, look, when they land in Maldives, they're already feeling well. I don't have to do wellness centers here. So leisure brings smile to people. Orissa, as some distinguished speaker said, 480 kilometers of beach. I have been born and brought up in Orissa. The mountains, the heritage, the temples, the culture is immense. Potential is immense. I have to say potential is immense. As an example, I came to Maldives 25 years back. When I came here, the hotel industry, the room rates were at $200 to $300. Today we sell rooms at about $20,000, $30,000 a night. How we created it? We didn't have a lot of natural resources. We just work with the nature. We use nature as a resource. Orissa has a lot of nature. There's a lot of resource there. I think it requires a sort of approach. I would say that let us look at the states, Rajasthan, how they have transformed the deserts into one of the most luxurious tourist hub in the world. Kerala has done it. And Orissa, we have a lot of potentials to do. Whether it comes to coast tourism, beach tourism, heritage tourism. When I go and speak to people around the world, they say, where are you from? I said, from India. Of course, I first say I'm Indian, then I say I'm a Oriya person. I speak about Orissa. I have taken people to see Chilka from abroad. I've taken people to see Gahirmatha, to see the total migrations. And, some people say that, look, guys, can we go back again? I think there is a lot of potentials we have to look at. I think that needs a bit of infrastructure development, like the airport, road, charter operation, open air. I think charter operation would be crucial for developing Orissa. I'm happy to announce I'm coming to India and I'm coming to Orissa. My brand, Atmosphere Hotels, we are entering to India. We are going to develop Orissa, hopefully in the near future. I think the Honorable Chief Minister has a incredible vision. Last couple of months back, I visited Puri, Bhuvaneshwar. I saw the kind of cleaning up taking place to bring out the temples to represent nothing less than a Taj Mahal. I think that these are the approach these are Chief Minister's vision. I have to thank him for that.
Sir, quick time check.
So
thanks, great thoughts.
Thank you, everybody. I would say that any question to me, but I am in it, and we will go for tourism to India and to Orissa specially. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And just a pleasant reminder to everybody that if you have any questions, please put it on the chat box. We will try to address them. And we move on to our next guest speaker, Mr. Shaktiya Mohanty ji. He's the Secretary of Bar and Restaurant Association of Odisha. Mr. Mohanty has been at the forefront of ecotourism and works very closely with OTDC, Odisha Tourism Development Corporation, and operates in different sectors, including ecotourism. Please welcome, sir, and few words from you. Thank you.
Jai Jagannath. Good evening to all viewers and all dignitaries, and special thanks to Consulate General of India, New York, Milan Cultural Foundation, and Odisha Society of New England for giving me this opportunity to share my views on Odisha tourism's potential and other related points. Tourism itself is an industry and it is not possible to cover all issues in such a short span of time. Some important forms of tourism are cultural tourism, recreational and leisure tourism, educational tourism, medical tourism, beach tourism, religious tourism, industrial tourism, business tourism, which includes meetings, seminars, conferences, and exhibitions. And there is also an alternative form of tourism like adventure tourism, eco-tourism, and tribal tourism. Tourism plays a major role in any country's economic development and GDP. 78% of Macau's GDP comes from tourism, whereas in India, it only contributes 9.2% to India's GDP. And in terms of employment, it only contributes to 8.1% of the total employment. Maharashtra, UP, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, and Rajasthan saw much more number of international inflow of international tourists in the year 2019 in absolute numbers. Whereas in recreational and leisure tourism, Kerala is number one, followed by Goa. Now coming to Odisha, I will start with Odisha Tourism's tagline, which is Odisha, India's best kept secret. Yes, indeed it is true that it is still a best kept secret. Odisha can be a paradise to tourists and tourism. Yes, it is true that it has not been explored to its full potential. Although it has 480 kilometers of coastal line, which includes many beaches, temples, monuments, wildlife sanctuaries, hill stations, and waterfalls, but still it is not fully explored. Now, Odisha government is giving importance to all types of tourism, especially to ecotourism, tribal tourism, adventure tourism, and sports tourism. In the year 2019, there were 62 lakhs of inbound domestic tourists and 1.17 lakhs of international tourists who visited Odisha. As in that year, we had International Hockey World Cup and there was a international cricket match between India and West Indies. Tourism department has already identified 358 tourist centers which holds potential to attract tourists. And the department is already working on developing basic infrastructures like roads, accommodations, guided tours and recreation facilities in collaboration with other departments and on PPP mode. For last 2 years, the department has started a new venture called ecotourism. And in the year 2019-20, it started in one place called Konark, which was of international standard, and it was a huge success. Seeing the success of 2019 and 20, this year, tourism department started ecotourism in 5 locations, namely Konark, Satkosia, Daringbadi, Hirakud, and Bhitarkanika. And it started from 8th of December and ended on 28th of March. Although there was a international ban on flights from international places, still then it was a success because of inflow of domestic tourists. And I hope in coming years, there will be much more number of places where ecotourism will help. I hope from this year, there will be beach shacks running throughout the year as in the excise policy for 2021 and 22, excise department has already given permission for beach shacks to run throughout the year. So I hope in coming years, Odisha will be an alternative beach tourism destination to Goa, and all foreign tourists will come to Odisha. Tourism also plays a major role in foreign currency earnings, and mostly foreign currency earnings comes from leisure and recreational facilities.
Sir,
It
quick
also
time
generates
check.
employment to
Sir,
other service sectors.
sir,
That
quick
is the
time check.
reason Macau focused on leisure and recreational tourism. Odisha's government should also focus on recreational tourism. Odisha government is going to host Hockey World Cup in the year 2023, when there will be an opportunity to showcase Odisha to international tourists by providing them international standard facilities. But there are certain issues which need to be addressed, like air connectivity. There should be better and direct air connectivity to major cities in the world. Though Odisha has an international airport, still the air connectivity is very poor within the state, which should be looked into. Secondly, there is a mismatch between demand and supply of star category of hotels. It is like egg and chicken scenario. Until and unless there will be more international tourists, big hotel chains will not set up their business or will invest in Odisha. On the other hand, as there are less number of international standard hotels, tourists are reluctant to visit Odisha as the cost of room rents are high. So to break the scenario, government should give incentive to hotel industries. Already government is providing land and developing basic infrastructures. Thirdly, nightlife. As Bhuvaneshwar is the #1 smart city in India, and leisure and recreational tourists always look for places where there is a good nightlife, but Bhuvaneshwar is not living up to metro city standard. Although there are international standard clubs and pubs in Bhuvaneshwar, but certain relaxation from excise and home department is required.
Sir, sorry
Yes,
for the
music
interruption.
is an integral part of nightlife in Bhuvaneshwar. The license to play music is only of 10 p.m., which is a hindrance to nightlife. Hence, playing music inside closed premises should be allowed like other cities and metros. The same has been discussed with Honorable Minister last year, and also he has agreed to look into it. Also, excise department should allow to run clubs, restaurants, bars till 2 a.m. so that Odisha can attract domestic as well as international tourists. Lastly, I congratulate the organizers for having such a discussion to promote Odisha in international forum. Thank you. Jai Jagannath, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir.
I
And
would like to play,
yeah, and
give a
please make
reminder
sure
to all
that
our-
because we are running out of time, so we should be very cognizant about the time. Thank you so much, sir.
Here and respect everyone's time, so please restrict yourself with the timings that we need to speak with. And with that, we move on. Our next speaker is Mr. Siba Satapathy. Mr. Satapathy is the global head for engineering and technology services for transportation sector that includes industries, example aerospace, defense, rail, automotive, and off-highway. In his current role, he is responsible for providing leadership to the client relationship, business development, and pre-sales teams. He's also responsible for developing and leading the go-to-market strategies, large deal structuring, M&A, marketing, and new market and service incubation for the sector. Please welcome, sir. Few words.
Visma, thank you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are, sir.
Thank you, Hariom. I'll try and see if I can get some minutes back and stay as focused as possible. It's an absolute honor to be speaking amongst guests here and the panelists. And thank you, Milan and Osni, both for this opportunity. I believe I'm kind of uniquely positioned for this panel. Talk a little bit about where I come from. I am born in Odisha. I grew up there. I've been living in US now for the last 19 years in this vibrant New England community. So that's one. And second, I'm representing both sides of the organizing here. That's Milan. I'm actively, I'm an active member of Milan. Obviously on the OSNI side, which is the Odisha Society, I participate in that. So I think I have a unique perspective of bringing both these communities together. I would speak about aerospace and defense industry, even though I'm responsible for other industries. A quick disclaimer, I know there are quite a few audience here. I'm going to share some data and please don't beat me up on that. For accuracy, it's only to spur a conversation between us and hopefully it will lead to some discussion. One, first of all, defense sector. It is a big opportunity that everyone knows. India itself has a captive opportunity, which is likely to grow at around 10.5% CAGR, CAGR from 2020 to 2025. India defense market itself is around $23 billion. And it's planning to spend roughly around $130 billion in the next 5 years to achieve self-reliance, which is as part of the Atmanirbhar initiative. A lot of foreign players are participating in this, in India's defense modernization programs. And every time they do that, there is a 30% offset requirement, and that creates a massive opportunity for Indian states and Indian companies to participate in that. And some of you might know that if you set up an operations in a defense corridor, in a defined defense corridor, then you get twice the offset credit. Now, that leads my discussion point. There are some states and corridors that are defined as defense corridor, and I do not think Odisha is one of those places yet. I could be wrong, and I would love to hear from the leaders that we have from the state. Now, who has taken a lead in this? In my observation, and I work with a lot of defense companies, aerospace and defense companies, both globally. Telangana clearly has taken a lead. They have been able to bring large companies like Tata's and other companies. They have joint venture with Lockheed Martin. They have joint venture with Boeing. That Hyderabad belt is obviously is humming and bumming. They have picked up defense, aerospace, some missile technology. The other state that has taken a lead is Karnataka, followed by the states that are now up and coming. Nagpur is in Maharashtra, is becoming one hub for MRO and defense aerospace manufacturing. Two other defense corridors that are defined are Uttar Pradesh and Bundelkhand region and Tamil Nadu. And Tamil Nadu is trying to replicate the success from automotive sector. And they want to bring that. They've done a very unique thing, which I think there's opportunity for Odisha. They have partnered with IIT Madras and DRDO as the knowledge partners. They've taken the blueprint from automotive, and they're bringing obviously public-private partnership model to invest into this market. These are massive investments, both Uttar Pradesh as well as Tamil Nadu, which are up and coming. Now, opportunities for Odisha, where does that lead into? I think it's very important. This is a massive sector. Defense sector is a very big sector. In general, other industries, we talked about marine industry, we talked about shipping and port industry, tourism as a vibrant industry. So it's very important that Odisha clearly defines its positioning in the global market, which industries are priority industries for the state. And again, if it coming to aerospace and defense, the numbers are out there. It is a massive industry. In that, again, which are the areas that you would focus? When I scanned the market, I saw that there is at least two inherent capability that the state has that is not exploited. HAL's engine manufacturing is there in Sunabeda for a long time. I have not seen that being replicated elsewhere. And obviously missile launch center in Chandipur or Baleswar, that is a big capability that is in the state, and that is also not being leveraged. So in my view, if I were to look at narrowing this down to areas where there are potential opportunities, and I'm aware of some opportunities from the customers and the industries that I interact with. First of all, engines. Now, engine manufacturing is difficult. HAL has absolute monopoly. Indian market is going to need 4,000 to 6,000 commercial engines, plus a lot of defense engines. And that will require a massive infrastructure for manufacturing. If not complete engine manufacturing, parts and components manufacturing. And easier ones to replicate would be MRO and engine test center. Now that Korakut has an accessibility issue, but this hub could be in and around Bhuvaneshwar, expanding the airport and creating that industry. So that will be my number one pick. The second, this is again an idea. This doesn't have to be in that. There are other opportunities as well. Second, in missile technology, both in development of technology along with DRDO and some educational institutions, and then bringing foreign partners. Now, as part of this, before coming to this meeting, I spoke with a few of my customers, and I can tell you that US companies, large US companies, which there are many in this New England region, they will not invest into a greenfield project. So we have to find local partners and the government to be a willing party to this if we were to bring these industries to the state. The third opportunity that I would point to is drone testing. Indian Defense has identified they want to have eight such sites. 2 are already taken by Tamil Nadu, 2 are already taken by UP. So there are 4 other testing sites that are available. And I think Odisha could go and try for that as a state, and bringing both entrepreneurs as well as the state has to participate in that. Now, these are some of the ideas that I could think of. There is one off the topic idea, which is decoupling of China, but because of lack of time, I will not go there. And finally, I'll summarize by saying, what do I see being in this industry as the challenges for Odisha as a state to capitalize these opportunities, and how do you overcome them? One is branding and awareness. Unfortunately, I'm an Odia, I live in US, I travel all around the world, but unfortunately, I don't think Odisha as a state comes up as a brand, or its awareness as a brand to go for large-scale manufacturing or high-tech manufacturing like aerospace. Everybody talked about, Satya talked about connectivity, and others also talked about connectivity. Airports and direct flight connectivity will be a big issue. Existing ecosystem, presence of large manufacturing, it's huge in minerals and mining and processing of minerals. But in terms of large scale, high value added manufacturing, Odisha lacks that, along with engineering and product development capability. So that ecosystem is missing today. And I think what other states have done, and I can speak to that, is that they have incubated this capability. For example, Telangana state has a person dedicated, he's a director in the government, working as a director of business development for aerospace and defense. So they are investing and taking it very seriously to incubate this capability. And by the way, these are high capex industries. Without government participation, I don't think private players on their own can do it. The fourth point is technical know-how, which is where I was leading to the incubators. I see DRDO and academic institutions coming together along with private companies. I think that's the kind of ecosystem that it has to build, which I see very actively in Tamil Nadu and other states, how they bring all these communities. And
Sir,
my
quick
last
time
point,
check.
I'm done, Hariom. The last point is policies and ease of doing business, that I think everyone is talking about. And I am done. Thank you.
Great. Appreciate that. Be on time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that was really very, very informative. Yes, we all need that. Anyway, with that, we move on. Our next speaker is going to be Mr. Sharad Patne. He has led WeLink Inc. as the President and Chief Operating Officer since 2013. A strong believer in quote, it can be done. This soft-spoken team builder in a short span of time, not only he has grown the company into a global IT services company with over 400 employees worldwide, but under Sharad, WeLink has been named top workplace in Connecticut, a row for several years, and has a well-earned reputation for delivering innovative technology solutions that support businesses in their digital journey. As a Master of Science from the University of Solutions from University of Connecticut School of Business and Bachelor's of Engineering from the University of NAPER, he now advises the Yukon Data Science Program and is also a board member of the several startup companies. Mr. Sharadji, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Reshma. A lot of interesting information flowing through for last hour and a half. I'll take the leaf from one of the statements from one of the speakers that Odisha is India's best kept secret. I think that's a good tagline. I tease a lot of my Odia friends on the same lines as well. I spent first 25 years in India and I did not come across too many Odia people. And since I landed in US, I have come across so many Odia people all around me in my professional circle and my customer side and even my social circle and now in the neighborhood also. So it is definitely a best kept secret, at least from my perspective. I was not aware of so many Odia people when I was in India, although I grew up in a small cosmopolitan town. My own experience is in primarily in IT services area and my own entrepreneurial journey. So my thoughts are primarily around that. For any industry, I know we spoke about a lot of bigger industrial things that need to be done in terms of minerals, in terms of ports, biotech, and all those things, and defense that Siba just mentioned about all those things. In my business line, everything revolves around the talent pool, and the talent pool is the key. Which Siba also mentioned about all the engineering talent and how to bring the private and government enterprises together and get their investment in. For talent pool, I feel this is a great time after COVID for last 1 year when all the work has moved to remote. A lot of young people have moved back to their hometown. This is a great opportunity for the administration to create some kind of platform to capture, to retain this resource pool. Every industry, if you want to grow industry, the talent pool is the key. And this is the good time for last 1 year. A lot of talent has moved back to the hometowns. And if the administration can provide them with the right opportunity and keep them there, that will be the win. Apart from all the bigger investments that are coming in and all the bigger master plans that are flowing in for the state. In my own experience, in recent experience, we are struggling to acquire some talent. We have a development center in Delhi area, and for the last few months, we've been struggling to acquire some talent for some of the newer technologies. So we ended up going out to partners, and we reached out to several partners in the last month and a half all over India. And surprisingly, the only success that we got from the partners were 2 partners who are located in Bhuvaneshwar area. So that means there is a lot of partners, a lot of talent located in Bhuvaneshwar or Odisha area. It's just that we need to provide them with enough opportunities so that they don't fly out once the remote situations go away and all the companies will start calling these people back. So that's a big opportunity if state or administration can provide them with a platform to retain. And a business like us also need some training support. Any new business coming in, if we need to retain, if we need to go after this talent, if some kind of training support can be provided by the administration, so that there is not much time or investment needed to train those people in the newer technologies. So that's the one side of things, at least from our business, that might be helpful. And the second part is from the entrepreneurial side. A lot of these people who have moved back to Orissa or their home states or hometowns, they are all usually young people. And most of these young people have a lot of entrepreneurial urge. If state can provide, in fact, one of the speakers also spoke about some kind of investment platform that they are trying to bring to Odisha. If state or administration can create some kind of incubation centers, accelerators, where these young kids who have the entrepreneurial urge, they can go in and test the waters. That will be a great win also. I know at least in Connecticut state, government spend a lot of money, and there are a lot of programs that are flowing in Massachusetts also, where they go out to foreign countries and look for the good startups and bring them here. So this is a good time when the talent is sitting in the home states. Forget about attracting talent from outside the state. If in near future, if state of Odisha can even retain the people who have moved back to their hometowns, that will be a great win. Apart from all these bigger things that are going on in the master plan from the bigger industrial perspective. That's where I'll rest my case. I'm focusing on young talent pool and figuring out how to retain them within the state will be a great win in the short term.
Truly, thank you, Sharajit. Be on time. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate.
All right. Then I guess we have our honorable Captain Mishra ji back on, and he's available to speak a few words for us. We had already given him an introduction, so just a quick one because we're running out of time. He's the Minister of State for Energy, Industries and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Mr. Divya Shankar Mishra has been given additional portfolio of Minister of State, whom Mr. Mishra served in Indian Air Force and served as chief pilot for Northeast Indian states, including Odisha, before joining politics. We have a lot more to say for you, but we're running out of time, so let's just bring him on. Mr. Mishra ji, please. Is he there?
Sir, I would like to request to start your video so I can put on a spotlight. Sir, I just make you as a co-host, so you should be able to unmute and start your video. Sir, are you able to hear us? I think we can move on to the next speaker, Reshma ji. Looks like we have some technical difficulty with Captain DS Mishra ji.
Sure. So, Mr. Bhaskar ji, are you ready for us, sir? If we can, Mr. Bhaskar ji, is he ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, a few words about Mr. Bhaskar Panigrahi. Mr. Bhaskar has a rich experience of more than 25 years as a serial entrepreneur and investor. Mr. Bhaskar has an... Am I okay?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Bhaskar has an extensive experience in setting up, building, formulating corporate
we are
strategies.
going together. Huh? We'll speak.
He is currently chairman and CEO of MFM Technology Solutions. He's also an investor and a board member in One Efficiency, OCI Energy Fairhaven Wind, Shore Ventures, Blue Stream Corp. Please welcome, sir. Few words from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And thanks for everybody staying. We are off the time already, 12:30. So I bring a contrarian view here. I've been a contrarian all my life and been an entrepreneur and investor. So this is my fourth attempt to get into Orissa. I was born in Orissa and been here in the MIT area since 1993. So the first attempt was to build an IT company in India. And in 99, missed that opportunity for various reasons. And we ended up building the company, Cambridge Technology in Hyderabad. In 2008, we thought we are going to build a clean tech hub in Orissa. And because of various reasons, again, we ended up building Cambridge Energy Resources in Delhi. And so this is the one more attempt we are making to get into Orissa, where we are building a renewable and logistics hub near Gopalpur port. And we believe this time a lot of things have changed in Orissa, very entrepreneur friendly, and a lot of things being online processed and structuring partnerships in US as well as kind of the foreign currency movement, foreign investment. Everything has become more systematic now. Last 2 years, we have been seeing that. So we are building on a 250 acres of land. We are building a massive renewable logistics hub close to Gopalpur port. And we think it's going to be operational by 2024, creating close to 700 jobs. And we are making an investment of close to 450 crores in that area. So that was my story of saying like Orissa has changed a lot last couple of years, and it's very investor friendly at this time as we are making our attempt again to build the industry infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Be on time. And now I am going to put on a spot to Captain DS Mishra ji.
Mr. Mishraji, please. We've already made announcements on you, so we've already said a few words for you. Please take the stage.
I'm really sorry for joining this webinar so late. I was really preoccupied. Elections are there in one of the constituencies in Odisha. So I was really busy with that, then followed by the NDC meeting. I'm really sorry for being late to begin with. I'm really privileged to be part of this webinar. Such intelligent people, people who think for Odisha sitting abroad, those who all have a heart and a soul for Odisha. I really salute you all on behalf of our Honorable Chief Minister. Odisha is no more the best kept secret. You all Odiyas who all are there in this webinar, you are doing extremely well wherever you are. Odiyas are basically very, very skilled people. Be it our sculpture, be it our filigree work, be it our applique work. Odiyas are known for their artistic touch. We are very, very skilled people. Skilled people with right kind of ecosystem can work wonders. And the right time has come now. With the best chief minister in the country, with the best administrator in the country in Odisha, Honorable CM Navin Patnaik ji, I think Odisha is on the right path for development and progress. Everything revolves around leadership and blessings of the people. We have the right kind of leaderships and we have all the blessings of the people. That's how Odisha is developing. With 52% of oxide, with 33% of iron ore, with 23% of coal deposit, with 11% of the entire water reserve of India in Odisha, and a very, very highly skilled workforce with 70 lakh trained women self-help group. The remotest part of Odisha, wherein the aboriginals, the tribals, the PWGs, primitive tribal group, those are the people who are brought into the mainstream now by Honorable Chief Minister. Whatever natural resources that we have is being explored. Now for metals and minerals, we don't have to advertise anywhere. People across the globe, the best of the companies, the richest of the companies in metals and minerals, they have a presence in Odisha. We are focusing on 6 sectors: metals and minerals, there's iron and steel, stainless steel, aluminium, downstreaming of aluminium, IT and electronics, food processing, textile and apparel. These are the 6 focus sector wherein Odisha is focusing now. You all are there all around the globe. I want to just inform you all about Odisha a little bit, how much we know Odisha. The Chandrayaan that went up had so many components that was manufactured in Odisha. From space science to down onto Mother Earth, everywhere there is a presence of Odisha. All the gentlemen that all of you all there, you shaved early in the morning today. That blade that you used from Gillette company, that chromite is from Sukinda Valley from Odisha. You fly day in and out across America to England. The Airbus Industries, the Boeing Industries, they use aluminium from Odisha. In the world skill competition, the gold medal comes to Odisha. I'm not talking about national skill competition, world skill competition. Odisha got a gold medal. In terms of art and literature, we are doing extremely well. The Jagannath culture gives us the direction, gives a direction to the world that we all are equal. Our Sun Temple, if you all have seen, the sculpture of a giraffe. Vasco da Gama came to India in 1498, and Konark Sun Temple was built in 12th century, and we have a giraffe carved out of stone. If Vasco da Gama was the first man to land in India, where from this giraffe came in Sun Temple in 12th century. Cuttack means cantonment. There's a huge naval cantonment in Cuttack. We were trading with China, with Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, and with Africa. That's where our sellers went in there. Our traders went in there. They saw the giraffe, and that's how in 12th century, giraffe was carved out in Konark. We are way ahead of Vasco da Gama. We want to bring back that lost glory. That's what we all should achieve. The aim of the exercise is to provide the basic facility to the people living in the remotest part of the state. And our Honorable Chief Minister, with his dynamic leadership, we have achieved a lot. The rate of growth is really good. I'm not saying everything is ticky-to-go, everything is in order. But for sure, we are progressing and we are heading in the right direction. What you need is a stable government. And Udiyas have been smart enough to provide a very, very stable government for last 22 years, which will run for 25 years. And again, furthermore, we have a huge coastline of around 490 kilometers. We are trying to build coastal highways. Everything is there in Odisha. What we need is good ideas that can come in from you all, Udiyas living all across the globe. Ideas governs the world, and good ideas can change the fate of Odisha. And that's what is happening slowly. We have a very good team, a good bureaucratic team, good leadership. Political team is under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister is doing extremely well. In terms of investment during even this COVID era, we have left behind Maharashtra and we are #1 in terms of investment. Odisha is evolving as a progressive state and not trying to play around with nature. During the COVID era, we have learned one thing, that we'll have to conserve nature. We'll have to protect nature. COVID-19, COVID-20, COVID-21, a series of them are going to come and hit you all. Whatever torture we did to the animal kingdom, to the plant kingdom, is going to bounce back. You cannot disturb nature. Nature will take its toll. We are in the top of the pyramid of the food chain. We should be more responsible. Could be, as human beings, we have not been very responsible. Virus was to live in the plant kingdom. We disturbed the plant kingdom. We cut down all the forest. It came on to the animals. We tortured animals. And now it is with us. High time to give it back to the nature. The ozone layer is depleting. Icebergs, glacier is melting. Global temperature is rising. If this is not an indication, then I think we'll not learn anything harder than this. I think it's time to give it back to the nature. Whatever progress in terms of industrialization, in terms of development, we can think of. Punjab might be the highest food grain producing state today, but the water level is at 600 feet. The per hectare utilization of urea and other chemicals and pesticides is the highest. Food grain is highest, but at the same time, you run a cancer train from Punjab to Mumbai every day. So development at what cost? That has to be thought of. Odisha is developing, keeping nature protected. Till today, we have not ever overexploited our groundwater. We have not overutilized chemicals and pesticides. We are nature-friendly people. We respect nature. Our deities are all part of the nature. We pray in front of small hillocks. We pray in front of trees. We worship animals, even cobras, Nagdevta. So that is the culture of Odisha. So this culture of protecting nature, this culture of making a world where everyone has equal opportunity, our Jagannath culture is unique in the world. It should be. I am proud. I'm really, really privileged and proud that I'm an Odia. We all should feel proud and privileged. Whosoever non-Odias or not from Orissa, whosoever in this webinar, I request them, come visit Odisha, know the heartland of Odisha, know the Odia culture, know the opportunities. The land of opportunities is Odisha. And let me tell you, anyone coming into Odisha will have an advantage as compared to any other state. The cost per unit of establishment of any industry in the country is cheapest in Odisha. That's the kind of ecosystem that we have. So once again, I'll not take much time. I think I am late. I really feel sorry about it. But nevertheless, I got a chance to interact with you all. We keep interacting. And let me tell you, Odisha has a future. Anyone coming in will definitely grow with Odisha. Together we'll grow. And all this growth, all this $1 trillion economy that our Honorable Chief Minister is dreaming of will be utilized for the development of the people living in the remotest part, the aboriginals, education for the tribal girl child, bringing everyone into equal platform, opportunity for one and all, progress for one and all. That is the vision seen by Honorable Chief Minister. I salute him. Thank you all for giving me a chance. Come visit Odisha, invest in Odisha. Together we will grow. Jai Hind.
Wow,
Thank you,
Honorable.
Honorable Minister, sir. Great speech, lot of valuable information, beyond time, everything. We really
Thank you, Honorable Captain Mishra ji. I have to apologize. It was really so much goosebumps and the way coming back to us. So we really needed it. So thank you so much. Jai Hind to you as well. And now I'm motivated to come to Orissa. All right, with that, we move on. And our next very good speaker, Mr. Arun Kay Mohanty ji. Dr. Arun Kay Mohanty ji, he is an innovative researcher with 20 years of demonstrated expertise in biopharmaceutical industry in the areas of oncology, hemoglobinopathies, and other genetic diseases. After receiving PhD degree in microbiology from the Baba Atomic Research Center and the University of Mumbai, India, he pursued research on several fellowships from the American Heart Association, Massachusetts General Hospital, and Harvard Medical School. A social entrepreneur, always passionate about making differences in human life and healthcare, and is one of the founders of Uttal Hospital in Bhuvaneshwar, Odisha. Sir, welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Asmaji. I'm going to share my slides. So just 1 second, please. Can you see my slide, please?
Yeah, sir, can you please put your slide on reading mode? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again. Thank you, Asmaji, and good afternoon, everyone. It's my profound honor and pleasure to part of this discussion group. So today I'm going to present my expedition in healthcare in Odisha. So before I produce some data, I have some disclaimer that some of the data I believe are correct, but please don't hold me for that. So before I jump into the Odisha, I just want to briefly touch about India. What is the healthcare scenario in India? So, sorry. So in India, it's WHO indicates that India ranks very high in cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetics, and other respiratory diseases. And also mentioned that almost 6 million people die due to diabetes, cancer, and other diseases. So the survey by the PricewaterhouseCoopers, that is the firm, so predicted that in 2025, almost 19 crore people need health care out of 138 crore population right now, which is almost 15% people need health care. So definitely India has a huge potential for health care. But now coming to the India, sorry, in Odisha. So why Odisha? Because there was an article in last February in Times of India, the Odisha is the deadliest state by cancer, because it was mentioned that, and cancer is not only killing Indians, but also killing India. And it was also shown that the state Odisha is another place where cancer is growing. And there are several publications where the cancer numbers are growing in Odisha. So it was suggested that we need to pay attention to control the cancer in Odisha, and we need more healthcare and more doctors in Odisha. But unfortunately, Odisha is the poorest in doctor population ratio in the country, because this is the report from 15th Finance Commission. So if you look at the statistics, the doctor to population ratio in Odisha is almost 1 doctor to almost 2,000 people. Whereas our neighboring state, Andhra Pradesh, which is 1 doctor to less than 500 people. And WHO normal is that you should have 1 doctor for at least 1,000 people. And it is predicted that to reach that WHO norms, we need to another 15 years to get the ratio of 1 to 1,000. So that means we have lot to do in Odisha. So then why I'm interested for the Odisha? Because I'm first of all an Odia and coming from Odisha. So after finishing my master degree from Utkal University, I realized that healthcare is a bigger problem in my state as well as my district. So immediately after master degree, I jumped to healthcare and I joined as a research fellow in the Regional Medical Research Center in Bhuvaneshwar, and started working on filariasis. But that's not all. So what I wanted to do higher study, then I came to Bhabha Atomic Research Center in Mumbai, and I did my PhD in microbiology and biophysics. And after that, I switched to University of Virginia. I came as a postdoc and worked in the University of Virginia on biophysics all as well. So after finishing my postdoc, I joined in Mass General Hospital in the Harvard Medical School. And after working there also and interacting with a lot of doctors in the Mass General Hospital, I got some idea what to do in my next life. But right now I'm working as a scientist in Vertex Pharmaceuticals in Boston, which is almost a very high leading company in the drug development in the world. So during my training, I found that I talked to different doctors and I found that I try to develop my interest in imaging, because as we all know, the seeing is believing. So once you see things, you can believe better. So that is coming the medical imaging. So we all know there are different types of imaging like X-ray, CT scan, MRI, those things. But one of the critical thing in imaging is, or critical technique in imaging called nuclear imaging, which is called PET-CT. And at that time, in early 2000, there are no PET-CT or nuclear imaging in Odisha. Ironically, Odisha had produced famous nuclear medicine physicists, because it will be good to know that, like one of the Dr. Ajit Padi, he's the head of the nuclear medicine in Vienna, International Atomic Energy. Dr. B.K. Das from Germany, and Dr. C.K. Ball, right now he's in AIMS in nuclear medicine department, Dr. P.K. Pradhan from SGP GIMS in Lucknow. So these are beautiful scientists and doctors, but there are no nuclear medicine facility in Odisha. So then while I'm thinking, only, the great minds always think the same thing. So while I was thinking, so I was visiting Odisha, and I found this institute called Utkal Institute of Medical Science. So there are 2 doctors from Texas, USA, and Dr. B.K. Das. They teamed up and started doing an institute called Utkal Institute of Medical Science, and established the first nuclear medicine facility in Odisha in 2006. So I was happy to see that, and it was kind of very aligned idea. So then I joined this group. Then we started thinking about going beyond nuclear facility. So we started thinking about doing the multi-specialty hospital, which is now called Utkal Hospital. So this hospital is now located in Chandrasekharpur, just very, very nicely environmentally friendly area, just opposite of Bharatpur Safari. And I welcome everybody to come and visit and part of this hospital. So this hospital is established in 2014. So right now we're working and we have several departments like cardiology to starting from urology. So the goal here is, again, as Honorable Minister Misraji said, ideas governs the growth. So our idea is to do evidence-based medicine, and that is what we are trying to develop a state-of-the-art hospital, which is like multi-specialist hospital of all 550 bedded hospital. And recently, this hospital also has got several awards by Times Group of Times Health Icons. So we're happy to see that this hospital is growing, and I welcome everybody to come and be part of this hospital and this endeavor. And at the end, I would like to thank the organizing and committee, and also Sri Ranjit Jaswalji from Consulate General of India, and Sri Devadatta Behra from President of Odisha Society of New England, and Sri Suresh Sharma ji, Chairman of Milan Cultural Group. And thank you all for listening. Thank you all.
Thank you, Arunji. Thank you so much for your valuable information. And with that, I would like to call upon Mr. Devadatta ji to say a few words and thank our respectable honorable speakers for the evening, please.
Thank you, Resmaji. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes, we are able
Okay.
to.
I know we are over time, and I first thank everybody here, those who have joined. And I start by saying CGI, Consulate General of India, Jaiswal ji, and Suresh ji, and Hari ji, and Resma ji from Milan to promote Odisha in this forum. And this was just the beginning, and we are hoping the talk will continue as our Honorable Minister, Chief Mr. Naveen Patnaik's letter said, as well as Mr. Divya Sankar Misra, Industry Minister, and the Principal Secretary, Commerce said. So Orissa is the new hub for the tourism, as explained by Mr. Shaktiya Mohanty and Mr. Salil Panigrai as well. And I thank again the Consul General for his encouraging words on things that I noted, like giving Odisha as the part of the India's 75th celebration. That was news to us, and we thank him again. And we thank Captain D.S. Misra to join us in spite of his busy schedule. And he had promised even the date changes in the past, and last minute he had some defense delegates to take care of, but he was able to give the insights of Odissa's and the openness and the natural resources and the human capital, the skills we have. I thank Mr. Madhusudan Padi, sir, for the detailed information about the state's port policy, the new electric vehicle that was totally new to us as well, and the policies geared towards the alternate energy resources. We thank him for his time as well, sir. I thank Mr. K.V. Kumar, sir, for sharing with us the economic relationships between US and India that you have built. And we definitely would invite you to Odisha if you have any ideas or processes in mind, or if you want to do anything, please reach out to us, and we will be very happy to entertain such interests and get in touch with the appropriate ministers or diplomats or bureaucrats in time. And I thank Mr. Salil Panigrahi, and he is the Pravasi Award winner as well, 2020, and Mr. Shaktiya Mohanty to give us insights about what new things have evolved in Odisha, the best hidden secrets being explored by our current government and the tourism department. And it was a very excellent, informative talk by Mr. Siva Satpathy about defense and aerospace. And Odisha has the HAL Sunabeda, like he pointed out, and maybe we can talk more and explore the opportunities with the right appropriate officers. We thank Mr. Sarad Patni ji for the suggestions to help Bhuvaneshwar capture the major human capital and IT industries. Some Odia leaders living in US have opened up offices in IT in Bhuvaneshwar, and they are very happy about it. And we welcome you as well to explore such opportunities. And thank you, Mr. Bhaskar Panigrai. He has been a long entrepreneur, and he has invested in many states in India, as well as is heavily invested in Odisha in the main infrastructure. We thank him for his interest to the home state. And at last, Mr. Arun Mohanty, like he's gone a long way. He had a long dream of healthcare to serve, and he's on his way to fulfill it. And actions speak more than the words. Like he said, yes, he realized very early on, but then he's able to fulfill his dreams. We congratulate Mr. Arun Mohanty for his endeavor, and we wish him all the very best with his hospital project there. Again, Sureshji, I thank you all for helping us out, and I let you please close the event as you opened. I'm sorry if I have missed anybody, but audience, thank you all for us joining from all over the world. Thanks, and Bande Utkala Janani. Jai Hind.
Yes, so with that, we come to an end of today's show. I'm sure everyone has some information useful with the exploring the various opportunities that Odisha has to offer. Thank you, Honorable General of India. Thank you to all our respected honorable speakers, and especially Milan Society and the Odisha Society of New England for organizing today's event and promoting opportunities. India has a lot to offer to this world. That being said, the aim of today's program was to develop and attract interest to one of the most attractive states, Odisha, which has something to offer for everyone. Thank you for being your host today. This is Reshma Lalwani signing off. Namaste and Jai Hind. I would like to bring Suresh Ji for just a minute to thank everyone and to just, wrap up the event. Please, Suresh Ji, 2 words for us.
I'm really feel today, with this event and the speakers, a special thanks to them, for the information they shared with us and the opportunities, what Odisha is offering. And I'm 100% sure that Odisha will one of the most, advanced states in India, with a lot of opportunities which I see is available there. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Devadatta Ji, for a very big help in putting all this, together, and all the speakers for their inputs and guidance, how Odisha can, develop on a very faster speed. Thanks once again, and have everyone a good rest of the day, and enjoy the day, and be safe as wished, to everyone in this pandemic. Thanks.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hariji.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Thank you.
Hariji.
Okay, Rashmi.
Okay, I guess Hariji
Yeah.
is a little.
Yeah, thanks.
Are we relating to any question answers at the moment? If we are, or are we with the time schedule? I would like to know what we should be doing next. Suresh Ji? We had a few question answers.
Yeah, looks like there is no question, right?
I don't think there were too many. There were just 1 or 2 in the very beginning. Rima Ji was actually going to address the question answers on the chat panel.
Hi, Reshma Ji. Yeah, there were a few questions, and they were directed to Mr. Madhusudan Padi, and I saw that he responded to those questions in the chat.
Okay, so if you want to just address the questions, a few questions, if there is anyone who can answer them, because I think apologies that we ran out of time. So just address the question, and if the honorable speaker is there, then they will answer the question. If you want to address.
Sure. There were a few questions about the status of international airports in Orissa. There's just one, and there were also questions about the connectivity to Middle East from those from the airport, and there were a few questions about transportation, about roads that were going to be built along the coastline. But I see that the party answered those questions in the chat.
Is he okay? He already answered the questions.
Yes, I saw. He addressed them.
Right. So, I guess then we can take a leave note. I guess, is there anybody in the audience if they're still writing any questions? Because we do have Mr. Satyaji there still available to speak and give answers. Anybody has any questions for Mr. Shaktiya Mohanty? Anybody can write a question in the chat box. I believe that everyone is writing. Everything was very informative. So with that said, we can sign out, I guess, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah. So Rishi, I think we can. There are no more questions, I guess. So there were certain questions that were already answered in the chat box.
All, Rashmaji?
Rishi, so can we sign out for the afternoon? Because I think most of the questions in the chat box were already answered. So
Okay, so thank you, Rima and Reshma.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a very big pleasure. I'm sure everyone took home a lot of good information. So proud to be an Indian. Jai Hind, everybody. With this, we close our today's event and look forward to many more coming. It was a pleasure to be on this platform. Thank you, Sharma ji. Thank you, Dev ji. Thank you, Hari ji. Thank you, Rima ji, although you were paying attention to the chat box. And thank you to all our valuable speakers for the afternoon, and to also our audience who were there and supporting us. And it was wonderful having you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Devji.
Thank you. Thank you, Rashmaji.